I was rerouted. A landslide had blocked Highway 51. It wasn't on any map. I hesitated, then turned in. I turned down the radio. It was buzzing. Old, rusted. I laughed and kept going. My GPS blinked out. I had no cell service, no radio. The air was thick. I passed a bridge. No railing. I don't mean metaphorically. Just black woods, and so I kept driving forward. And then I saw a light. No barrier. Just a window. His skin was waxy. Eyes yellow. What? I asked. Then you may pass. My mother. My first truck, my wife, our dog. I don't know how, but they were all there. I pulled one at random. I drove on, numb. Lights returned. Back on the grid. She blinked. What road? She backed away slightly. No one's driven it since. But something else was missing too. I looked at my contacts. Scrolled through my photos. I didn't recognize my wife's face anymore. And when I tried to remember her name, nothing came. Branches scraping the sides of my truck. And 10 minutes in, I passed an orange sign. Spray painted over the original letters. Were 3 words. It was wrong. Wooden planks. Half rotted. But when I tried to turn around, the road behind me was gone. I mean, the pavement had vanished. Out of nowhere. There it was. A single toll booth in the middle of the forest road. Inside sat a man in a gray uniform. He spoke before I could say anything. He slid a box toward me through the glass slot. I tried to laugh it off, but my hands were shaking. Inside were old Polaroids of my life. He took it, and the photo turned to ash. The road straightened. The radio buzzed back to life. When I pulled into a diner for coffee, I asked the waitress where Old Mill Road was. Old Mill runs through the woods south of 51. That road burned down in 94. Landslide took out the bridge. I pulled out my phone to show her photos from my dash cam, and GPS suggested a detour through something called Old Mill Road. Just a thin gray line curling into the woods. The road was barely paved, the trees too close. Do not detour. Payment is one memory. Pick the memory you'll never see again. He nodded at the box. You may proceed. I rejoined Highway 51 about an hour later. There were none. I was halfway through a 600-mile overnight drive, heading north on I-87, when I noticed the SUV behind me. It was far enough at first. Then it crept closer, too close. I switched lanes. It followed. I sped up, so did they. What unnerved me wasn't the speed, it was the headlights. They didn't flicker, didn't bounce on the asphalt like normal high beams. They were perfectly still, like twin eyes fixed on me, and they never blinked. I flashed my hazards. No response. I turned the radio off, static. Checked my phone. No service. Then the SUV flashed its brights. Once. I squinted. Another flash. And then again. A pattern. 3 flashes. Pause. 3 more. SOS. Was someone in trouble? I slowed down, rolled my window halfway, stuck my arm out to wave them forward. But the SUV didn't pass. Instead, it kept pace, close enough now that I could make out the silhouette of the driver. A man, motionless, rigid, head tilted at an unnatural angle. Suddenly, my own headlights flickered. The engine stuttered. When I looked up, a semi-truck had jackknifed across both lanes. No lights, no signals. I swerved just in time. The SUV behind me? It passed straight through the wreck. Not around it. Not over it. Through it. Shaken, I pulled into a rest stop 10 miles later, parked under a flickering lamp, tried to breathe. Then I noticed the back seat light was on. I hadn't turned it on. I opened the back door slowly, empty, but the seatbelt was fastened, like someone had been sitting there. A cold breath touched the back of my neck. I spun around, nothing. Then I heard it, click, click. The sound of a turn signal, coming from nowhere. When I looked in my mirror, I saw them again. Those headlights, parked at the far edge of the lot. The figure inside still hadn't moved, but now his hand was up against the window. Written in fog, "You were supposed to follow." I bolted, drove until sunrise. When I stopped for gas in a town 60 miles out, I asked the attendant if he'd seen the SUV. He looked at me blankly. "There's no one else out here tonight," he said. "Wreck shut the road down hours ago. Happened near exit 44. Guy in a black SUV died right away. Head snapped sideways. Looked like he was trying to warn someone before he hit the truck." I stared down at my gas tank, and that's when I saw it. A handprint on my rear window. Not mine, facing inward. I picked up a routine night haul across western Kansas. Flat land. Clear skies and no company for miles. At 3:11 a.m. I passed an old rusted sign. "Private road. No entry between 3:17 3:47 a.m. Strange. I hadn't made any turns. I checked my GPS. Still on Route 7. At exactly 3:17 a.m. I heard the first horn. Not close. Distant. Echoed. Warped. Then came the lights. One by one, old trucks appeared in my mirrors. Dim yellow headlights. Cabs with shattered glass. Engines silent. They didn't pass me. They just followed, spaced out in eerie precision. 6 trucks, all ancient, all rotting. I tried the CB. "This is 54, red pulling 12 tons. Eastbound on Route 7. Who's behind me?" Silence. Then one voice, raspy, croaking. "Just passing through. Just like you." Then, "Keep your eyes ahead. If you look back, you ride with us." The air got thick. My dashboard clock froze at 3:17 a.m. No matter how long I drove, it never changed. The temperature dropped. Frost lined my windshield. The trucks behind me never braked, never changed lanes, just rolled in eerie harmony. And in each cab I noticed the same thing. The drivers didn't move. I passed a rest stop, completely lit but empty. Desperate, I turned in. Parked, ran inside. No people, no sound. Just fuel pumps flickering like they were gasping. I returned to my truck. The other rigs had followed me in. Formed a ring around my trailer. Headlights dim. I climbed into the cab. My seat was wet, like someone had sat there while I was gone. The CB buzzed. "You stopped. Now we know your name." I floored it. The road twisted and shifted. The same mile markers passed again and again. I was stuck in their time. Then at 3:47 a.m., the dash finally changed. The trucks behind me slowed. One by one, they vanished into the darkness like smoke dispersing in wind. Only one remained. It pulled up beside me. In the driver's seat was a corpse. Skin blackened, teeth exposed in a melted grin. He held up a sign against the glass. Scrawled in blood, "You got lucky. Next time you drive with us." Then the truck disappeared. I don't drive nights anymore. And every clock in my house is broken at 3:17 a.m. But sometimes I still hear that horn in the distance. And I keep the keys in my hand, just in case they want me to finish the ride. It started like any other night haul through Utah's empty highways. I passed mile 183, then 10 minutes later saw the next sign. Mil Monison. I slowed down, confused. Maybe a damage sign. But then I saw it again. Same mile 97. Same bent reflector. Same shredded tire on the shoulder. Again and again. No matter how far I drove, I never escaped it. I turned around. Still, mile 197. My radio crackled to life. You missed your exit, driver. But don't worry, it'll come back around. I pulled over, stepped out. The night was dead silent. No wind, no insects. Not even engine noise. The back of the mile marker had a message scratched in. Don't sleep. Don't stop. Don't look in the mirror. Behind me, another truck idled. Same model as mine. Same license plate. Same bumper sticker. Same everything. Someone sat inside. I climbed the side to look in the window. The driver, it was me. Same jacket, same cap. But he wasn't moving. Until he turned his head toward the rearview mirror. I turned too, and saw myself standing behind me. I ran back to my own rig. Locked the doors. My engine started on its own. The CB whispered, sleep and it takes your seat. Drive and it watches. Exit at mile 213. If it lets you. I passed 197 again. And again, over and over. Then 198. Then 199. I dared to hope. But the next sign crushed me. Mil Monison. Again. And behind me a horn. The other rig was tailing me now. Its cab glowing from inside, like the driver was lit from beneath the skin. I sped like hell through the loop. Then finally, an exit. Exit 213. No services. I swerved off. The road turned to gravel, then sand, then silence. I stopped. No lights behind me. No horn. No glowing face. Just stillness. But when I looked in my rearview mirror, he was sitting next to me. Same eyes. Same grin. Same hat. I'm not driving alone anymore. And he never blinks. Don't take Route 88, the diner waitress warned. Why? I asked. She hesitated. Truckers say they see things. It changes them. I laughed it off. Superstition doesn't move freight. By midnight, I was rolling eastbound on Route 88. No lights for miles. Just the hum of my rig and stars above. At 12:34 a.m., I spotted a truck ahead. Old school Peterbilt. I hadn't seen it pass. No taillights. No CB chatter. I changed lanes and passed slowly. The cab was empty. No driver. Yet the wheel turned on its own. When I checked the mirror, the truck was gone. At 1:13 a.m., the CB crackled. Convoy 88, full cargo. Prepare to merge. I responded, who is this? Silence. Then, Convoy 88 never ends. 5 trucks passed me heading west. No headlights, no sound. One leaked something thick and dark that wasn't oil. I pulled into a way station for clarity. The man there blinked at me. Route 88's been closed for years, he said. No one logs through it. Not since the disappearances. I told him about the convoy. He went pale. They're not trucks, he said. They're remnants. Machines that never made it back. Some say Route 88 collects them and anyone who sees them. Back on the road, I felt it, a weight shift. Something was in the cab. I looked. The passenger seat had buckled itself. And something was sitting there. Faceless, still. It pointed forward. The CB whispered, Convoy 88 welcomes you. I slammed the brakes. The figure vanished. At 4:11 a.m., I reached a tunnel. No lights. Inside, the walls were etched with names and warnings. Convoy is the cargo. Don't sleep in the cab. Left 4:33, never returned. Then my rig shut off, dead. Headlights appeared behind me. The truck passed through mine without contact. When power returned, my dash clock blinked, 8:88. I made it to a diner by dawn. The cashier wrote something on my receipt. Outside, I read it. If you hear the horn again, don't stop. Don't look back. I turned to ask her, but the diner was gone. Just dust, and far off in the distance, a horn was calling. Scariest.